Howdy guys. I'm going to make this as a video response to Soul Survivor 2's gun giveaway contest, because I'm always up for a free gun or like to take a shot at one. But it's actually a video I was planning on doing anyway. One of the things I think are very, what's the word I'm looking for, underrated or overlooked is the importance of a good med kit. Now, whether your idea is, you know, shit hit the fan or end of the world, or for whatever reason that you spend time preparing. I mean, I spend a lot of time in the woods. I spend a lot of time in the deep woods. Therefore, the ability to, treat major problems in the woods to me is a big thing. So, prepping isn't all about, for those that watch these videos to laugh at quote-unquote preppers. Prepping is not about for everybody. When the zombies come, or the earth flips over or whatever. For a lot of people, it's, I mean, there's, here in Oklahoma, we recently had a whole lot of people that had to bug out of their house because the fires came and just wiped out everything. Tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes. If you live in California, you got earthquakes. Why anybody would live in California, I still haven't figured out. But if you live in California, you might have a problem with it. They got earthquakes. So being prepared to leave that house, may become a serious reality. I know for the people out, just not too far from me, it became a serious reality. They lost like 500 houses or whatever they lost out there. And, there was people that were given 30 minutes. Get out. The fire's coming. We can't stop it. So, with that in mind, I also want to talk about the importance of a medical bag. Now, this is my med bag. This is a, I used an old Camelback gear pack, but I'm just going to kind of go through some of the stuff I keep in here. And I'm not going to lie to you, I get some money in this bag. You don't realize how much money you can spend on medical supplies until you start putting it in a bag. But I pick it up a little time. Every time I go to Walmart, I buy something. Every time. And I throw it in the bag. One little item at a time, it packs up. Out here in the front, I've got some tape, alcohol swabs, some more tape, waterproof tape, bottle of Germex hand sanitizer, which, by the way, in a pinch you can use to start a fire. Alcohol burns, guys. Box of rubber gloves, because you never know who you're going to be working on. But that's just in a little front pocket, and I'm just going to blow through this, just an idea. I'm not telling you I'm any super medical supply anything, but just kind of show an overlay of the bag. And like I said, this bag is work in progress. I am constantly adding to it. It'll be different tomorrow than it is right now today. Here we got elastic bandages, got a couple of those. I leave them in the original boxes, because usually if you are not a super first aid kitted minded person, if that even made any sense, if you don't know a lot about first aid, there'll be instructions on the backs of the box of what it's intended use for and how to use it is. Band-aids, more band-aids, waterproof band-aids, different size band-aids, got lots of those. I got some first aid antiseptic, big bottle of aspirin, because like I said, if you're taking off, big bottle of aspirin, unopened. Acetaminophen, great thing to have in the field. Burn gel. Bare low dose for heart type people. Ibuprofen. Because if you were in the Army, you know. Band-Aid! Band-Aid! They just blew off my arm! Well, here's some ibuprofen. It'll be better in the morning. Ibuprofen fix everything. One-a-day men's, and I got one-a-day women's in here somewhere. And that's one of the things I expect to get the most comment, or, you know, what the hell is that for, comments. But if you think about it, if you are put in a situation where you're lost in the woods for a long time, nutrition becomes a huge, huge problem. Even if you can't find some food, some one-a-day vitamins, you can get a little bit of what your body needs. Big bottle isopropyl alcohol, again, can be used to start a fire. Pepto-Bismol. If you are in a situation where you're having a hard time finding water, or more to the point, you have been forced, and there should never be a reason to be forced, but if you have drank some undisinfected water and now you got diarrhea, or you just have diarrhea for whatever reason, or you're throwing up, in a survival situation, that is massively, massively, massively dangerous. When you start removing all the body water from your body in a survival situation, especially here in Oklahoma in the summer, it gets a little on the hot side. If you start losing that water out of your body, bad things happen. But that's, I mean, and that's just a quick rundown of what's in the kit. I'm not going to sit here and go through every stupid little item. Just understand that, you know, as you pack this big bag, and I mean, I've got more diarrhea tablets, I've got some salt tablets, I mean, I just got a good variety of stuff in here. But every time I go to Walmart, I buy something else. And I actually just had it out and up at the house, and I don't have it down here. Watch the sale racks. I just picked up a digital, and I understand it's digital, and the whole, you run out of batteries. No shit. I get that. But right now, I have access to batteries. And honestly, guys, I'm not worried about the zombies coming. I'm really not. So, with that in mind, I got a little goes on your wrist blood pressure machine that you don't have to know nothing about taking blood pressure. Strap it on their wrist, have them hold their hand over their heart, put their feet flat on the ground, sitting in a chair. Takes their blood pressure. I got that for they're normally like 80 bucks. I think I paid like 25. It was on sale. The other thing I got was glucose meter, which we had out. None of us are diabetic. But it was on sale. Little digital glucose meter, takes a watch battery, prick their finger, stick the little thing in there, and it tells what the blood glucose is. Because you're not always going to be working on somebody in your family where you know all their problems, or you might not be able to. You know, this would be a good kit. If I go on a long trip, throw this bag in the back. It's just there. It's not going to kill me to transport that in my vehicle on my trip to Pennsylvania or Colorado or wherever we go. But you come across an accident, now you're equipped to do something about it, other than stand there and dial 911 and wait for other people to help. Now, like I said, I have not a huge first aid experience there, but I was in the service, I was in law enforcement, and I've taken all the required classes in first aid of both. I was a firefighter for a while, and you know, there's some EMT classes, not that I'm an EMT and not claiming to be, but there's some super first responder training classes that you have to take for, you know, to be a firefighter. And, you know, I've done all that, so I have a true understanding of first aid, and I really believe that I can save somebody's life. Now, in my other bag, which I don't have down here, it's in my vehicle, I have and you guys have seen, if you've watched my other videos, a red kit, but in that kit has a book that has first aid in it. Well, that kit never leaves I never leave the house without that kit, so it is always with me. Now, one of the things I would suggest, and what I'm going to do in this pocket, as soon as I find one I like, is I'm going to put a first aid book in here. Because I may not always be the one that has this kit. You know, I might be the one they're needing to use this kit on. And if you don't know anything about first aid, that would help me. But like I said, this is work in progress. This will always be something I'm adding to. Looking for better ways to store stuff in it without, because I really believe that having the ability to read the labels on the packages is going to be good for somebody other than me. And I try to look at stuff, you know, I know what acetaminophen does. I know how to put on an ace bandage. But if you've came and I've directed you and my car's crashed and I've directed you to this kit to help me, and you don't know how to make a splint, there needs to be something in here to show you how to make a splint to get on me to help me. Because not always and not in every situation will you be using your kit to help someone else. It may be something that they're needing to come and help you with. But anyway, just food for thought. This is a covered in cat hair. You know, kind of a pivotal thing that a lot of people, preppers, I mean, every prepper you see, they've got metric tons of bullets, metric tons of firearms, which, you know, I have a lot of guns and I love shooting my guns, but let me say this about the guys that have metric tons of firearms: you can only shoot one at a time. I see a lot of guys going out and putting a bunch of money into a whole bunch of cheap guns. Buy a couple good ones that you know aren't going to break, and then buy parts kits for those guns. You save yourself a whole bunch of money. I see all these prep, you know, not all these, I mean, there's some people got their heads screwed on straight, but I see a lot of these guys that they lay out this barrage of firearms. Now, I have a barrage of firearms because I love firearms and I collect firearms. If I want to, I'll lay a couple hundred guns out here and show you. But I only have a select few guns that I would take in a serious problem. All of those guns I have parts kits for, and my big, you know, my runaway bag or get out bag or whatever you want to call it. That's part of it right there. But you know, it's a big kit. But I keep parts kits in there. I can completely rebuild an M16. Or an AR-15. I can completely rebuild an AK-47. I can completely rebuild a Glock. Those are going to be the guns I would take to the quote-unquote end of the world. Or if it's time for me to leave, those are the guns that are going with me. You know, I've got a complete spring kit for an AR-15 in the pistol grip of all the guns that I would intend to take. But anyway, now we're kind of getting off subject. But think things through. Put a little bit of time and effort and mindset into, you know, your med kit bags. Any questions, comments, things I haven't thought of to add in here, go ahead and throw in there. You know, hey, you know, you can get this cheap, or where you can get it cheap, because I'm all about doing this on cheap. You know, I prep as I can pay for it. I do not have an unlimited amount of money to dump into this, so that's why I pick up one or two things every time I go to the store. And I'm always looking for stuff on sale. So anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Thumbs up, subscribe, and all that happy stuff. Thanks for watching Soul Survivor 2. Enjoy your videos. You guys have put a lot of thought into prepping. So appreciate a shot at a gun. Everybody likes free gun. And thanks for watching and have a good day.